Hello, and welcome to this edition of ONTV News. I'm Taylor Goldman. They say one man's trash is another man's treasure, and that could not be more true at the Orion Art Center. Local artists were encouraged to take items destined to their landfill and transform them into works of art. On Wednesday, April 24th, the Orion Art Center hosted an opening reception for its popular Recreate Recycled Art show sponsored by the Waste Management. Now, in its 5th year, the theme of this year's event was transformation, and more than 60 pieces were submitted for the consideration. Prior to the reception, juror Ruth Kiska examined each piece and selected the best entries in various categories. After welcoming those in attendance, Art Center Director Lauren Dinoweth handed out ribbons to the top finishers in their respective category, and $850 in prize money was awarded as well. In the youth category, Wolfpack 59 took top honors with their entry depicting a UFO beaming up cows. The piece was made from a hubcap and glassware. David Emilian received a first-place finish in the teen category with his entry. In the adult category, Terry Brezzo was recognized for his use of recycled materials and received a first-place ribbon for his work entitled Woman of the House, made up of wood and other materials. And receiving first-place recognition for best use of theme was artist Shoei Howie for her entry entitled Transforming Detroit. All of these fantastic pieces will be on display at the Art Center through June 8th. The Art Center hours are Wednesday through Friday, noon to 6 p.m., and Saturday from noon to 3 p.m. For more information, call the Orion Art Center at 248-693-4986 or visit their website at orionartcenter.org. The Friends of the Orion Township Library is an organization that enhances and supports the library's services to the community. Normally, they raise funds through their regular used book sales, but recently, they wanted to try something new. ONTV's Jesse Agnew brings us the story.
Residents of Lake Orion poured into the Township's library on Saturday, April 27th to experience a Passport to Spring. The event was made possible by the Friends of the Library, a group of dedicated volunteers who help make the objectives of the library possible. Passport to Spring was the first of its kind for the library. Traditionally, the Friends have raised funds through book sales, but never through a fundraiser of this scale. Over 200 guests enjoyed the elegant affair, complete with local art vendors, musical entertainment, wine tasting, and, of course, a mime. Upon entering the building, guests were greeted by the library's director, Karen Knox, who played an important role in making the event possible.
I work together with them. So the Friends are our main fundraisers, and they do events like this. They also do our book sales and other events to raise money, and then they give us the money to put on programs and offer services for the library. And so for this particular event, it was almost all volunteers. That's what the Friends are, all volunteers that were involved. And then I just kind of help liaison and give them some perspective and tell them what we can and cannot do within the library and go from there. So it was a really, really big joint effort.
Glasses were available for guests wanting to participate in the wine tasting and were handed out by Pat Bellinger, president of the Friends of the Library.
This night is just a fundraiser, and we don't have a particular event every year for the Friends. We do a few small things, but we never do anything big. So we thought this would be something big that we could, if it works out, we could do on an annual basis, in addition to our normal book sales. And those are very profitable, but there's nothing you say, oh, I went to the Friends night, and you're... So we hope everybody goes home and talks about the great night they had tonight. And next year they'll be back again,
Are you pleased with the turnout?
May we.
May we?
Yes. Very good.
There were also local performers as well as an array of authentic French culture foods available. The Friends effectively utilized the entire library space, making for a unique experience. One area was dedicated to local vendors and wine tasting. Another area emulated the marvel of the Louvre with the work of talented student artists on display. Event organizers told us that they were pleased with the turnout.
Honestly, I was sitting at the front desk greeting everybody that was coming in, and really that was honestly the best time because it kind of came alive. We've been planning this event for a year, and so to see people actually show up, see this place transformed and having a good time, that was my favorite part.
Fundraisers like Passport to Spring allow the library to grow and adapt and continue to be relevant to the residents of the community. From the Orion Township Library, I'm Jesse Agnew, reporting for ONTV News.
Thanks, Jesse. The Orient Center has become such a vital part of the community. It's hard to believe it's officially opened its doors just 1 year ago. The staff marked the first-year anniversary of the center with an open house on May 2nd. Members of the community were invited to enjoy food and refreshments while touring the facility that has become the place to be over the past year. The Parks and Rec staff moved into the facility in March of 2012, and the Senior Center followed in May of that year.
We're celebrating by just encouraging everybody to come in and check out what a great new center we have. We're located at 1335 Joslin Road. ONTV is on site with us, and the Senior Services and Parks and Recreation program. So we just wanted to have a day where we could celebrate and say thank you to everybody in the community for the wonderful facility that we have in the community to offer.
Throughout the year, the Orion Center has housed many of the township events, such as the Bunny Bop in the spring, Boo Bash in the fall, and Cookies with Claws at Christmas time. Several expos has taken place in the banquet rooms as well, such as the Green Expo and Senior Expo, which will be taking place again on May 22nd. Many other programs and activities take place throughout the year as well.
We're pretty active. We have about 750 seniors that are enrolled in our Senior Center programming that we have on site. We have about 110 people that are enrolled in our senior exercise program. We have an exercise room that has equipment in it, and that's for 62 and above. So we have about over 100 people that are now using that on a regular daily basis. And we're seeing that our Parks and Rec population is also increasing with participation as well. So we're really excited. We have a great space. Our yoga, Tai Chi programs, and Zumba classes have all blossomed and gotten bigger, so now we're working on the arts and crafts component and some of the other programming.
The staff at the Orion Center also wants residents to know that its banquet rooms are available for wedding receptions, showers, and parties as well. For more information, visit oriontownship.org or give them a call at 248-391-0304, extension 305. We're going to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll have a special report from Kayla Brandon on the Oakland County Economic Outlook Luncheon. You're watching ONTV News. Stay tuned.
Join us on Sunday, May 19th for the 17th Annual Dragon Dash 5K Run and Walk. Whether you run, walk, or just take a leisurely stroll, enjoy a certified course along Joslin Road bike paths, residential streets, and scenic parks. Awards will be handed out to the top male and female finishers in various age divisions. Check-in is at 7:30 a.m. Walkers take off at 8:30 a.m. and runners begin at 9. Cost is $10 on race day to participate. Proceeds benefit Orion Township's programs and events. For more information, call 248-693-0304 extension 140 or visit oriontownship.org.
Welcome back to ONTV News. I'm Taylor Goldman. Since 1986, Oakland County has teamed up with its sponsors to present a 3-year projection of the economic growth for the area. At this year's Economic Outlook Luncheon, County Executive L. Brooks Patterson and his co-presenters had some good news to share. ONTV's Kayla Brandon was in Troy for the event and brings us the details.
On Thursday, April 25th, community leaders gathered at the Troy Marriott to talk jobs and money at the 28th Annual Oakland County Economic Luncheon. The event's co-sponsors, Chase Bank and Oakland Community College, were also in attendance. The host of the event, Oakland County Executive L. Brooks Patterson, initially predicted a 25-year economic recovery following the 2009 recession. He told ONTV while he was pleasantly surprised with the quick turnaround, he wants to ensure that Oakland County becomes recession-resistant in the future. How was your mood in 2013 compared to your mood in 2009?
Oh my God, 2009 was a killer year. We lost 60,000 jobs, and those are hard to recover from a hit like that. And yet, last year and this year, we've brought back about 45,000. So we're on a fast recovery. And next year, we should probably at least replace that 1 year. We should have 60,000 under our belt. But we lost throughout the whole decade about 115,000. So we still got a way to go.
So you're remaining optimistic?
Oh, very optimistic. This is still a strong county. Still a lot of room to grow, and we are out there every day with my economic development department, beating the bushes. We're in China frequently, we're in Europe, looking for businesses who want to come to, still, America is considered the greatest market, and we want them, if they're going to come to America, come to Oakland County.
Before the luncheon began, we got a chance to speak with the keynote speakers. George Fulton is a research professor at the University of Michigan, whose area of expertise is in economic forecasting and regional economic development. Donald Grimes is a senior research area specialist at U of M, who has been involved in economic forecasting for state and local governments for 30 years.
Well, first, the U.S. economy has been expanding, and that helps. And I also think that Oakland's economic fundamentals were always in good place. The policy promoting professional services and health care has been very helpful to it. But so I think for all of those reasons, and then the U.S. economy grew faster because and is growing faster because the motor vehicle sector is improving faster than we thought, and also the housing sector is turning around, and that's very big in terms of a recovery.
And it seems that the private sector is growing immensely, but the government sector is actually decreasing. So
yes, the government sector has been shrinking for a while. We're forecasting that it will continue to shrink through 2014. We see some uptick in government job growth in 2015 for the first time. So the forecast is, for most of the period, continuing declines, but a much slower pace. And of course the problem is that all government levels are adjusting to the new budget realities, and as they do adjust to that, their employment situation does improve.
The economic turnaround in Oakland County has been much stronger than we expected, so things are really looking up. It can't be overstated how strong the economy has been over the last 2 or 3 years, and that's now, as you described it, sort of filtering into the housing market, which is turning around. It's sort of a laggard because there's just the way the housing market is structured, and eventually it'll turn around in terms of revenue for the government sector, again, which lags housing even. So that's sort of slow, but things are really going well here. I mean, a lot of people who are not, there's still a lot of hurt out there in the world, and they get mad at me every time I say things are going well, and all I can do is look at what's happened and what we think is going to happen, and it is creating jobs. They are better paying jobs. Over half the jobs have been in what we call high paying industries, which pay over $62,000. So things are, by any metric, going in the right direction. We just have a lot of ground to make up, and there are still a lot of people who are sort of being left behind, and we can never forget that, I guess.
in 2009, the economy hit rock bottom, and although there's still room for improvement, 4 years later there are signs of growth. In 2011-2012, they were the best 2 consecutive years of job growth since 1994 and 1995, and we're told that the best is yet to come. Reporting in Troy, I'm Kayla Brandon for ONTV News.
Thanks, Kayla. While the county executive delivered good news about Oakland County's economy, Township Supervisor Chris Barnett delivered some good news of his own while addressing members of the Orion Area Chamber of Commerce last week. On Thursday, May 2nd, the Orion Chamber's monthly luncheon was hosted by the brand new Kensington Church facility on M24. The featured speaker was Orion Township Supervisor Chris Barnett, who talked about the rapid growth the Orion area is experiencing following a long period of recession. Barnett said the area is bracing for a residential housing boom, which will hopefully benefit area businesses, and he wants the township and the chamber to work closely together to deal with the tremendous growth.
I hope they're optimistic. I hope they see that we are on the right track. There's a lot of not only potential growth, but now there's actually projects and shovels going in the ground. So it's exciting. I think, I want them to see it as an opportunity for their businesses to grow. So that's what I think. I think they caught the message a little bit. I got a lot of good feedback. So
the luncheon's host, Kensington Church, opened its doors to the public at the beginning of the year and now serves over 5,000 worshipers each weekend. The building was a vacant commercial building since 2007, but the parcel was repurposed to meet the needs of the community.
It's really an incredible story. I mean, we took a vacant industrial building that sat vacant for 6 years, pieced it with 4 other parcels, and turned it into a church that sees over 5,000 people on a Sunday come through. So it's really amazing the impact that it's having on our community. and then we're getting a lot of great feedback. The one downside is the traffic on Sunday mornings, but the local businesses love it. They see a big impact in their sales on Sundays, and people that are coming to our area that haven't been here before to check it out. So it's another benefit. It's pretty cool, yeah.
The Chamber's largest event of the year is scheduled to take place on Thursday, May 9th at the LOHS Fieldhouse. The Community Business Expo will run from 4 to 8 p.m. and is free to the public. Vendors will offer information and product samples throughout the day. Visit OrionAreaChambers.com for more information. We're going to take another quick break, but when we return, we'll take a look at local sports. You're watching ONTV News. Stay tuned.
The Orion Area Chamber of Commerce invites you to attend the Community Business Expo, scheduled to take place on Thursday, May 9th in the field house of Lake Orion High School during parent-teacher conferences.
I know that the parents who come for parent-teacher conferences really look forward to coming to this parent-teacher conference because they know that the expo is taking place. They can bring the kids can have fun. We have the bounce house, we have the basketball free throw shooting contest. We have all kinds of fun things happening.
More than 100 exhibitors representing businesses of all varieties share information about their services, sell their merchandise, distribute free food samples, and introduce their unique offerings to consumers that span every demographic. The expo runs from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. and is free to the public. If you have any questions, call the Chamber at 248-693-6300 or visit OrionAreaChamber.com.
Welcome back to ONTV News. We now turn our attention to local sports. After starting the 2013 season with 2 losses, the Lake Orion boys lacrosse team has turned things around, winning 4 out of their last 5 with a 5-3 overall record. On Friday, April 26th, the Dragons look to continue their hot streak against their crosstown rivals, the Oxford Wildcats. Oxford came into the game even hotter than Lake Orion, entering the match undefeated with a 5-game winning streak. Oxford got out to an early 1-0 lead with a laser shot from Adam Cole. Lake Orion quickly responded with a goal of their own, a beautiful one-time pass from Bruce Seibold to Kurt Lashaw. From there, Lake Orion dominated the rest of the game, winning 12-5. The Dragons were led by Kyle Pillavant, who finished with a team-high 4 goals. Lake Orion also got contributions from Kurt Lashaw with 2 goals and 2 assists, Zach Miller with 3 goals and an assist, and Nick DeAngelis, who tallied 1 goal and 2 assists. Oxford suffered their first loss of the season and fell to 5-1. Lake Orion improves to 6-3. Spring looks like it's finally here, and it's time for baseball. The Lake Orion Baseball League celebrated opening day on Monday, April 29th on ball diamonds all over the township. Teams had a rough start to their season with all of the wet weather saturating their playing fields. Standing water didn't deter the Clinic Division players from getting their games underway on Tuesday, April 30th. The crowds were packed to the GM Fields for the twilight matchup between PX Oil Change and Tire Warehouse on Field 2, with Eva's Dairy and Cornerstone Financial playing on Field 1. The first and second graders put their recently learned baseball skills on display to the delight of their friends and family in the stands. The Clinic Division uses pitching machines to help players develop their hitting with a regulated pitch speed of 33 miles per hour. PX2 and Tire Warehouse players worked hard all game long, with PX2 taking the win in a close contest 4-3. Tire Warehouse made it interesting in the bottom of the 6th, loading the bases. PX2 was able to get the final out and celebrate the big win. If you'd like more information about the Lake Orion Baseball League and listings of all the division games, visit LOYBL.com. In other youth sports action, the Lady Lobos U10 Red team was on the road to face the always tough Rochester club on Wednesday, May 1st. The Lady Lobos got off to a slow start, giving up 2 quick goals in the first 2 minutes of the match. The Lobos would respond with 2 goals of their own to tie it at a halftime at 2-2. In the second half, RSC poured on the speed and pressure, which resulted in a goal. Lobos trailed 3-2. The Lobos had a golden chance to tie the match, but the breakaway shot sailed wide right. RSC would go on to win the match 4-2. The Lady Lobos dropped to 1-1 on the season. That's it for this edition of ONTV News. On behalf of the entire crew, I'm Taylor Goldman. Thanks for watching.